Welcome back to the NITE Economics YouTube channel, and today we're going to be looking at, tonight we're going to be looking at an overview of the market, starting with the S&P 500. So if you're liking the content, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and leave a comment down below on anything that is said on this channel. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the S&P 500 is pretty much living at its all-time high. It's about down 2.5% from its current all-time high, which is at 7,620 bucks, and is currently sitting at 7,386 bucks as of June 10th, 2026. So it's Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. So it's just sitting at that price level. It's currently just about to be 1 p.m. here in Europe, so we're still a couple hours away from markets open over in the United States. It's really hard to tell, from my point of view anyways, which direction this one is going to go. I think maybe we're approaching maybe a similar period like this, where it had a big explosive move to the upside, and now the move is starting to get a little fatigued. You have a little bit of a pullback, and I could see it just kind of slowing down into the summer months. Generally speaking, summer months tend to be a little bit, last year was summer was a big month, but the summer months tend to be a little bit slower for all markets, generally speaking. So you could see here between May, June, May, they're not huge months like something like this, right? So maybe we expect a little bit of a quieter period during the summer. I'm not saying it's going to drop off, but just kind of more of like a sideways move with a slight bias to the upside. I think for now the move on the S&P 500 is going to cool down, and we'll see what happens in the fall or late this year, where I do think a potential decent pullback to the previous low set here in pretty much March. The March lows could happen, but only time will tell. As of right now, I'm just expecting this one not to really do much. With that being said, let's take a quick look at gold. So gold has dropped about 25% from the all-time high, which was set, I believe it was in January of this year. It's down about 25% from that all-time high. And I do see this one coming further down, and for a couple of reasons, because you could see here on the 2-week time frame, we're about to have a cross of the 5 exponential moving average moving below the 21 exponential moving average. And when you have crosses like this, usually, most of the time you're going to have a move down to the next moving average, which in this case would be the 55 exponential moving average here on the 2-week time frame. I think on the weekly already had that cross, and of course you could see that correction down to the 55 here on the weekly. Let's take a look at the 10-day. The 10-day, we're about to have that cross as well. So we're about to have it on the 10-day. I might have to sneeze here. Excuse me. So we're about to have that cross here on the 10-day. Let's look at 24. On the 24, let's start from the shortest time period, move on to the higher time periods. So here we're about to have the 21 exponential moving average moving below the 200 simple moving average. So that's a big cross. We'll see where that's going to move us down to, or which price action it'll bring gold down to. I'm looking at more or less the $3,600 mark because of the other time frames. So we just had on the 2-day, we had actually a silver cross to the downside. So I could expect a move here on the 2-day, more or less at the 200 simple moving average, which is sitting around 3,700 bucks as of right now. The 5-day already had that cross and already had that correction there. So this one is already played. The 10-day, we're about to have the cross, and the next moving average of interest is the 55 exponential moving average in the 10-day, and is currently sitting at 3,600. Weekly already had that cross. I don't expect it to go all the way over here. That's crazy. The 2-week 3,600. So yeah, so like I said previously, let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, because the 2 week is about to have the cross again as well, so that could be in, in 8 days or so we might have the cross, or if not, if it stays below, if the price action stays below pretty much $4,300 within the next 2 weeks, we should see that cross happen. And then we would expect to move down somewhere between $3,700, $3,600 at some point. I'm not saying it's going to happen all at once, but it'll work its way down there for a while before I think we'll just see a consolidation to the right side, and then later on in the year maybe you see a big move in gold. Not necessarily to all-time highs, although like I've said in this channel before, I am very bullish in gold to finish off the year. And let's take a look at this ratio between the S&P 500 and gold. So you could see the S&P 500 has been very bullish versus gold in pretty much in the last couple of months. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, going on to the 4th month now. Seeing a big move to the upside with the S&P 500 obviously moving up and the price of gold going down. So we're seeing this upward price action. So it has taken out this previous high, this high over here of well, whatever, you see it right here, was sitting, it's pretty much at the same level right now. So its current price action is pretty much at the same previous high, which was set over in October, and that was 1.77, and that's where this ratio currently is. I do see it probably struggling here to break through the 55 exponential moving average here, and it'll probably create a bit of a resistance level there. As you could see, right now it's starting to stall out, so we'll see if it gets rejected here. It's something we're going to keep a close eye on. But in my opinion, unless it gets above this pivot point right here, which is 1.96, it's just a lower high, and or in this case, the same high as previously. And yeah, this is still a downtrend. For anyone that's keeping track of that, still a downtrend, and until we have a significant reversal, pretty much getting above this number here, 1.97, I'm gonna see it as that. But I mean, it's working its way up, especially if gold breaks down, which I do think it's gonna break down to that 3,600 level, and I don't really see the S&P 500 breaking down as of right now, especially in this quarter and even into the next quarter. So then maybe we see this move go up to here, around these previous highs here that were set in July of 2025, and then essentially getting rejected, because I do see this will take several months to play out, of course. I do see the S&P 500 eventually breaking down, and then maybe gold rallying on the other side of it, this downward move that I'm predicting in the next month or two. Then we would see this ratio come back down again in favor of gold. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of that. And then we'll do a quick recap here of the futures market. We're taking a look at the price of oil. And let's turn this one off. So yeah, so right now, I think, this is my opinion, because these charts are difficult to read, these crude oil charts. I think it's playing something similar like Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is in a bull market, you have periods where oil trends down, or in this case, Bitcoin trends down before the next explosive move to the upside. I think we're looking at something like this potentially in oil. So, it had its high, then it started trending down like it is right now. And let's take a look at volatility. Volatility is still pretty high, but it looks like it wants to contract, right? So we're going to see some, maybe a little bit of a boring price move or boring time period to enter into the summer months. And then in the fall, maybe we see a bigger move to the upside. I do see this move potentially getting back to the all-time high, which is, I believe, is around $145 per barrel of oil. And look at these moving averages, they're expanding, right? There's a lot of separation between them, and that's usually a sign. This is a monthly chart. Let's go back to the weekly. This is a sign of this move is not done. Again, of course, I could be wrong. This isn't financial advice, but I do see this going back up later this year. Now, right now, these moves take a long period of time, and if you looked at my previous videos as why I think oil is going to be bullish even to the next year. Take a look at those videos. I'll link them in the description below as well. Highlight them in this video so you could take a look. It'll be easier for you to see why I think that. But yeah, I just think it's trending down during an explosive move is usually something typical that you would see in Bitcoin. So I could see another explosive move going up to the upside. So I'm still bullish on oil. It only becomes a matter of how high it will get. I think in my super bullish oil video, I think I had a price action of about $170, but I don't remember. I made it a long time ago. So, but again, I'll reference it in this video if you're interested in watching that. And then let's finish off with Bitcoin. So like I said previously, you can see it here in my last video, that Bitcoin would have a little bit of an upside move to start the week, and it had that on really pretty much on Sunday. Had it on Sunday, and then it's been down since then. To me, this has more downside than upside as of right now. I think this move is not done. You can see volatility is still pretty high. But I think that let's take a look at the 12-hour chart. It's not really telling me much. But I mean, if Bitcoin could get back above yesterday's high, which was at $64,000, then we could see a bigger move to the upside, right? So maybe we could get and tag the 21 exponential moving average here on the daily, but overall I think that would be a lower high before moving back down. And I think actually, honestly, I think this might come back up to this 5 exponential moving average, then go lower, then work its way up. I think that's more likely to happen. Let's see, where's the drawing pencil? I've never actually used this one. Brush, highlighter. Is it over here? Arrow. Let's do this one, right? So I think it's probably more likely to go down, then go up. That's horrible. Yeah, so I think maybe it comes up here, tags that 5 exponential moving average, then comes lower down, then it starts to work its way back up before going down and hitting my target of somewhere between 45,000 and 46,000 US dollars to be the all-time low for this bear market. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Again, this is just my how I see the market, what I'm looking at when I'm analyzing price action. Again, nobody has a crystal ball. Actually, look, Bitcoin's starting to move a little bit to the upside, so that's interesting. Nobody has a crystal ball, and at the end of the day, we're all just guessing here. Anyways, if you're liking the content, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with any of my takes. Again, thank you for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow evening or next time on my channel. Take care. Bye-bye.